Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, April 11th, 2024. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right, so that's for the disclosures today. No additional sessions. Crude. That short trade is too early. It's long trade 1 minute after start time. We definitely are in that. Bounce around, stop and reverse at 85.52. So we go short. Money management pushes down to 42. We do pick up 12 and 16 ticks at targets 3 and 4. And a one and done session. 28 tick win. We had a 9 tick loss times 2 positions of 18. Net 10. Positive day. Live to trade another one. All right. Looks like a possible long trade coming on YM. We're still a little over 2 minutes ahead of our start time there. We are in a get in sync on the short for the short at the moment. And that will remain valid unless we trigger into the long. Initially, I would have said I wouldn't take that on the move up, but I will take it. It went up and tested the first swing level, which is exactly what I want. One of the things I wanted to see, either that or test the session high. But we just triggered into the long, so short is off the table now. $28 tick target 1 on the long trade, still over a minute. Unleaded. The short trade 5.5 minutes early. So definitely that one's out of the realm of possibility. We go long 1 second after. No, that's a no trade because it popped up, so we hadn't got to even worry about that one. First trade of the morning is the short, 901.32. That gets target 1 and target 2. Trails down halfway between the two at 7:58. One and done session there. And the market is just about to open. Another 40 seconds. Possible get in sync on the long side. And we're in our session. And now we have a short that is too fast to catch. Micro Russell. That one is a no trade on the short. The long should be in. Long has hit money management. Yeah, we have to go one, and we're trailing now. So and target 3 and 4. So win number 1 there. Unleaded was a winning session. YM, we got in sync with the longs. We just mark it out of that when we go through the short. And now we have a second long that's a full stop. Not a nice morning on the YM. Short trade on the Micro Russell. That's that hit money management. So that's a break-even trade. Back to the long side. I gotta go tick higher than that. $55.6, and that's a full loss. Back to the short side. Noisy morning on Micro Russell so far. 49.9 looks like it's our entry. Yeah, 49.9 is going to be our money management level. And money management, so it's going to be at least a break even on the short side. We have a win, a loss, and a break even. I'm sorry, a win, a break even, and win, a break even, and full loss. We're in trade number 4. We are at money management, so we're looking for target 3 now. And we have target 3 and 4, so that's a second win. Pound Aussie picked up a short trade just a couple 2.5 minutes after our start time at 8:30. We had to go all the way to halfway between targets 2 and 3 to get money management. So we take 3 positions at target 3, 1 at target 4, and trail down to a tick above target pip, or I'm sorry, one pip above target 3. So that's going to be 13 pips on the trailer, 14 times 3 on target 3, and 18 on target 4. So 42, 60, 73 pips today on Pound Aussie. Good morning, Don. Soybeans, long trade at 1163 flat. Short, it went too far. So that was a no trade. That would have been a get in sync. YM with a successful short now. $27 tick target 1. Stop at 718. Oh, let's see, I need to get to micro NQ. There we go. And it's a break even. So that was our second win. Break even on the long. Right? Yeah, win, break even, loss, win, break even number 5, and a full winner on trade number 6. That's the end of the session. So 3 wins. Definitely a positive session in the micro Russell. YM stops out at 718. Still going to need another trade there. Soybeans into the long. 1163 flat. Looks to me like we got into that and we picked up, just quickly got a break even on the long side. And now we have a, that one we got to take a look at. That it entry and stop on the same bar. So we'll have to look to see if it's a valid trade or not. Duplicate it. Put in vertical lines. I've already got, oops. Into a 4-second chart. And YM taking another full stop on the long side. All right, there is our 4-second chart. There's the trade setup. Okay, we missed the entry by a tick, it looks like. Then went up and hit the stop, then came back down to the entry again. So that is a valid trade. So it's a valid trade. And it makes money management. So we come back for a second break even, and now we have a long trade. So 2 break evens, and now in the long. Soybeans is long. Micro Russell is done. So is the crude and pound Aussie, as well as unleaded. So currently we're watching the YM, soybeans, and micro NQ. We will have the 10 a.m. crude mini session coming up. All right. Micro NQ pulled back into the 50, and now looks like it's trying to head back up. At the moment, kind of sideways. Micro NQ is long, soybeans is long, and we're short on the YM. That stop I would probably hide up above the 200 EMA. Yeah, I'd give it 3 ticks above the 200, get it above the key level. So we'll make that 736. Which is a 4-tick adjustment. Micro NQ taking some heat now. And taking a full loss. So 2 break evens and a full loss on the 12-point bar. 12-point custom Renko with a 3-point offset. FOMC member speaking at 10 o'clock. And a short trade set up. It's definitely hit the entry already. So if it hits the stop, we are out. I am in the short. and it did hit the stop. So hopefully that's an avoided trade. If not, that's a second loss. Yeah, it's a 1 minute bar, but that looked to me like it spiked down and came back up. I'll assume that's a no trade. And we have a long set. Not hit the entry this time. So if it hits the stop, it doesn't matter. Trade is still valid. YM hitting money management. You notice we're still printing the trade entry, the micro NQ, because we have not had a crossover. Lines are still green. And target 1 on the YM. Stop at 681 on the YM. Long trade on micro NQ is still valid. We are currently flat. All right, looks like we're gonna get a crossover on the close of this bar. It appears, if we close down. Looks like that's what's going to happen. That will cancel the long trade and set us up at short. There's our short, the same place we were before. Short has not triggered. YM 671 for the stop. Our entry was at 690, or no, 692 was the entry. There is a long trade. $668. We're well positive side. $668 has 70. I'd probably use the 71 stop. We did go through that. Let's see the entry there, and we did just hit money management and stopped out for break even. I'm a little leery of the longs because we've got a definite short or downward trend. Soybeans right back at its entry. And noise on the micro NQ. So far, we're being kept out of it. First short was probably avoidable. Second short, definitely, because we never hit an entry, or have not hit an entry yet. That trade is still valid. The long, we never hit an entry. Soybeans trying to fight up through the session open. That gold dotted line there is the session open yesterday evening. And a new long trade cancels the short. It looks like we touched the entry, so if we, that one's, I would say that's a get in sync, I believe. That one would be avoidable. If it touches the stop, it's another avoid, I would call that another avoided trade. If it comes back up to the entry again, then we're definitely in it. YM with another long. Just below the 200. This looks like it might have some legs. Missing money management by just a couple of ticks. And back to the entry and just below the 50 again. Into the long trade on micro NQ. Long on the YM, long on the micro NQ. Pulls back to the balance line and bounces up. Rejected at 50. See which way that breaks. It's going to break one way or the other. And that's a second full loss on the micro NQ. The market's just not extending right now, and a full loss on the YM as well. Sellers not willing to let the buyers take over. And a short. Now on the micro NQ. Under 6 minutes to under 5 minutes now to the crude mini session. And now the YM blows through the 50 after taking a full stop out on the long trade. And right through where target money management and target one were, right up to the 200 EMA, and looks like probably through target two. So and the sellers not having enough strength to keep keep going downward, so we may see an up move. We had failure to get higher, push down to the stop on the long, but then we get a failure to get lower as well. We're actually seeing higher lows. And here we are going the opposite direction on the micro NQ again. Have not triggered the short, so we're still, the trade is still valid, even though we've hit the stop. And we did get the crossover that canceled the short trade, but it ended up being on a down bar, so a reversal bar, so no trade setup. And we very well could get another reversal bar upward here, and that would set up a new long trade. And it's going to be a big long trade because the wick we have on this reversal bar crude approaching its session low at 85.33, and that got down to 35. And mini session in less than 2 minutes. There's the long trade and triggering in. Probably would have been a good idea to adjust around that spike, but I didn't pick that up quickly enough. Yep, that's a big trade. 31.5 to target 1, so I would say move your targets down to 1, 2, and 3 on this trade. We're just about into our 10 a.m. crude mini session, still long on the soybeans trade. And into our crude mini session. It's in this short trade, but gone too far, so we're certainly not going to follow that one. That's already trailing, so no way to get back to the entry there. And a full stop out on the micro NQ to end the session. Third loss. It's a noisy session there. And now we get a short trade that looks like it might start to head on downward. Not in that one. Done with the session. So we're in the 10 a.m. crude mini session, and we have the soybeans chart. Ooh, YM looking even more trouble. Taking a full loss on the long trade. The short stops and reverses into a long. That's another full loss, and that's going to end the day for the YM. Max trades, and definitely a down day. And there's money management on the micro NQ short. And that's one of the reasons why the NQ can get you in trouble. It'll sit there and just chop you up and then start to move. So the question is, how long do you stay in the market? Long trade on crude, 85.61. That's our first trade of the 10 a.m. mini session. Soybeans, stop and reverse. Be at 60.60 and a quarter. And there is your stop and reverse entry. Soybeans still in the long. Stop and reverse adjustment keeping us in it so far. And the micro NQ trade was a break even, so basically just more noise. Moving back and forth, but not extending. And soybeans does trigger short. We stop and reverse to the short on side on soybeans. That is from 1163 to 1160 and a quarter, 2 3/4 points. 11 ticks, so we're down 44. And Aussie with a second successful trade this morning. Pushing it. The entry was the same as our prior money management level, and so the trade is marked up in reverse. And our stop now at 203. That would be two positions off at target 2. Looking for target 3, but not in that trade because that would not be part of our trade plan unless you're looking for your trade plan has a power of quitting 2. We already got a power of quitting trade netted to 73 pips. Less spread, of course. Not quite as hectic as yesterday morning. That was a wild morning. Soybean short taking heat now. Soybeans a big up and down swing from 8:30 to 9:30 this morning, but since then it's been pretty much sideways. Those are Eastern Zone timestamps. That chart is traded in Central Time zones. The exchange time would be an hour earlier. Crude long trade in no man's land in between the entry and the stop. And Aussie hitting target 3. Crude, long on crude in the 10 a.m. mini session, short on soybeans. Second trade of the morning, 8:30 Central start time. So that would be 9:30 on my charts. Crude trade looks to be in trouble, but hard to say. Stay with it until it does something. Soybeans short in some trouble. Right around the 50 EMA now. And a stop and reverse short. Be at 32. There's our entry, or our stop and reverse. 32. That would push the money management on that trade down to 22. 10-tick minimum. So still long at this point. But we did hit the unadjusted entry, so that stop and reverse will remain in effect until either we get a new long trade that triggers or we hit the stop on the short trade. Everybody's being quiet this morning. Everybody's ready to get on with their week. Slow going. And we have another stop and reverse potential on soybeans, 64.25. And we have not hit that yet. One tick below our stop on the trade. So currently still short on soybeans. Same situation here. We've hit the unadjusted entry, so trade will remain valid. I'm still currently long on crude, short on soybeans. $20 SMA oscillating around above and below the 50 EMA, indicating soybeans is going sideways at the moment. And crude stopping it to hits the stop on the stop reverse short. So the short cancels and we revert back to our long. Still in long trade. I would revert back to the original stop on that long trade, basically hiding it below that support level that it just showed us. Crude heading up, soybeans heading down. So our existing trades, and there's a new long that we're still in the prior long. Back to the original entry. Soybeans back to its original short entry. Actually, no, that was a stop and reverse, so it's 60.25. It's not quite down to its original entry. Stop and reverse keeping us from going short and taking a stop and reverse loss on the short and then full loss, stop and reverse loss from the long, and then a full loss on the shorts. Stop and reverse adjustment definitely helping us out there. Crude pulling back to the 50. Let's see if it takes another bounce upward here. Comes back down. Doesn't appear to be very sure where it's going. Filtered short because that would be a stop and reverse. Calculator thinks it's in the long. But we are actually still in the short. And that's actually, that new trade is out of our original entry. $10.30 coming up. 2 active trades. And everything else is done. Russell, Micro Russell on Catapult doing well, getting definitely positive this morning, 3 wins. Micro NQ, unfortunately, taking 3 losses along with a couple of break evens. And YM kind of getting chopped up as well. And our long taking heat again. Be back down. I would be down here. 85.29 stop. It's 2 ticks below this swing low here. So that was my reasoning for pulling it back to there rather than leaving it at the stop and reverse, which is where the latest trade plot is showing, but we're actually in the earlier trade. With that swing just 1 tick below where the stop on the latest plotted trade is, I'd still make that adjustment. And probably key level it on down to 29. All right, into that support zone. So we'll see if it continues down or not. It does go through the 32, gets to 31, but so far 29 is holding. Got to the same point as that prior. It gets down to 30 now. And 29. So we do take a full stop out on the long, but stop and reverse adjustments kept us out of both of the stop and reverse trades. Out of the stop and reverse short. And ultimately we ended up taking a full stop on the long, but we'd have taken the most significant stop out on the stop and reverse plus a full stop on the short. And a full stop on the subsequent longs. Saved 2 losing trades out of that by the stop and reverse adjustment. Okay, and we got a momentary stop and reverse became valid, but we'd have to hit it to cancel the the prior stop and reverse. Long trade is still a valid trade because it has not hit the entry or the stop or the entry of the subsequent short trade on soybeans. That one's just in no man's land. All right. Crossing the 1030. Unfortunately, looks like it's time for me to call it a morning. So we will see everybody next week. Should be a regular schedule. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. the Wednesday crude oil report. All right. We will see everybody on Tuesday. Everyone have a good weekend. Good trading tomorrow. Good trading on Monday. Until Tuesday.